Oh, didn't see you there. Just, brushing up on my knowledge about the Islamic State. In fact, why don't I tell you a little bit about them? Maybe I'll be able to persuade you that the United States should intervene in the ISIS crisis. So, this past year, we've seen numerous and unforeseen things. None so unforeseen than the mysterious rise to power of the organization calling itself the Islamic State. With its cunning leadership and tactical genius, the Islamic State won't go down without a fight. So just what is the Islamic State? Well, the Islamic State, also known as ISIS for the Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, is a Sunni extremist self-proclaimed state with land holdings in Syria and Iraq. Now, this little red cancer cell right there, that's all the land holdings that ISIS has. The little pink is disputed territories, and the beige is lands by the Iraqi government and Syria. As you can see, Syria barely holds anything now. Now, what exactly does ISIS seek to do? They seek to restore the caliphate of ancient times. You can see this is their mission. It is to conquer half of the world in the Mediterranean. We are pretty evil people. So, what is wrong with them wanting to conquer the world? Well, I'll tell you. The first problem is that they are creating huge amounts of violence in the Middle East. Not only that, but we are seeing another human rights crisis. In Syria alone, there has already been over 100,090 deaths, and 9 million Syrians have been replaced as a result of this evil regime. Furthermore, they act in genocidal tendencies. Have you ever heard of the Yazidis? Well, neither have I until I started researching this, and it turns out that the ISIS has been killing them indiscriminately. They go into towns where this ethnic group lives, and they go into their homes, take them out, line them up, and shoot them. Women, children, men, doesn't matter. But not only that, ISIS has conducted numerous of beheadings. You've heard about the Westerners they've all beheaded? I'm sure you have. For 3 of them, which were American citizens. So it's spilling over into our area. Furthermore, though, they've directly addressed Obama, well, their spokesman has, and has even stated, with Allah's permission, the Islamic State will soon slaughter your people in your streets. Wow, pretty scary stuff, right? I would hate to see them walking down the street slaughtering people. But the next big problem with ISIS is that they are the most financially funded terrorist group in history. Very true, I know. According to The Guardian, ISIS has an estimated $2 billion jihadist network. Through strategic operations, ISIS captures banks, loots military equipment, and takes over oil fields to fund their organizations. Now, you hear about the Ku Klux Klan, like Al-Qaeda, and like the IRA, but that is nothing, they are nothing compared to ISIS. Because ISIS, they strategically plan what they're going to capture, how they're going to capture it, and how they're going to make money from it. You can see the $2 billion is no joke. They are very serious in making money, which has led them to numerous capabilities that, pretty scary stuff. The third problem with ISIS is that they are extremely well organized. All their key figures were in Saddam Hussein's military regime, most of them being ex-military advisors or tacticians, according to Reuters. So this means that these people know what they're doing. Sorry about that. That means these people know what they're doing, and they're not afraid to kill anyone that gets in their way. Furthermore, ISIS is accumulating, aside from native Middle Easterners, hundreds of European Muslims who travel to the Islamic State through Turkey's porous border. They're gaining support even from Europeans, and it's pretty scary. The fourth problem is that, unlike terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda or the Taliban, ISIS seeks to control or to govern. They seek to become an actual state. So they're thinking like a government, and they're ruling people, which is pretty weird. So let's go on to the satisfaction, some solutions. Now, obviously, the best solution is US-led military intervention. So the United States has already created a joint coalition with several countries in the region, including Egypt, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates, according to The Guardian. And now they have led strategic airstrikes on certain points of ISIS, namely their oil fields and whatnot. And this has led to crippling blows in key economic operations for the terrorist group. But furthermore, I would just like to point out we don't have any combatant troops in Iraq just yet. Obama has ordered about 1,000 military advisors and trainees to aid the Iraqi army, but that is it. What Obama is trying to do is make sure that while we do help them and we do give them aid, the Iraqis, we do not send any actual American citizens there to fight their battle. However, this may soon change as much of the public believes, according to this CBS poll, which you might not be able to see, that airstrikes alone will not be able to do anything. And 65% of Americans believe that ground troops will eventually be necessary to stop ISIS. But don't worry there. Before the president can act, the majority of Americans believe, about 62%, that Obama needs congressional approval. So this means whether or not we do send American troops into Iraq, it's all going to depend on the legitimacy of Congress. So what are some visualizations we'll see after we've intervened and gotten rid of this evil, terrible organization? Well, the first thing we'll see is peace and stability. Not only that, we'll be stopping a genocide in a region that is constantly, we constantly see ethnic cleansings. So, I mean, just being a good person, you should kind of vote for U.S. intervention. Secondly, Iran also hates ISIS, so we could see better Iranian and U.S. relations. Awesome, right? Thirdly, we have better national security. We won't have this threat of people saying, hey, I'm going to go murder Americans in the street with Allah's permission. You know, a bunch of good stuff. So in conclusion, the United States should intervene in the ISIS crisis because who else will? Thank you.